everyone, welcome back to a new BOOKMAS episode, and today is a fun little video. The video questions and all that credit goes to Destiny Sidwell. I'll link her video down in the description. And first off, why am I in my car? It is because everyone inside is asleep, but I wanted to film this video now so I can get it edited and get it ready to be uploaded for Tuesday. I believe Tuesday. Today is Sunday. We're just going to get started. And the first one being is the most disappointing read. What is my most disappointing read? There are like 3 that I could say for this one, but one is going to be in my last BOOKMAS video, so I don't really want to tell you that one, and the other one is in the next question. So the one that I chose for this question is Red Hood by Elena K. Arnold, and it's like a take on Little Red Riding Hood, but it also comments on certain topics, which is completely fine. And to be honest, it might make you uncomfortable. And it did make me a bit uncomfortable, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to do. But personally, I wasn't looking for what this book was. I was not looking for. I was not looking for a book that, commented on, these specific things. But also, it was just the writing style. Some of the writing was, really nice. But it's just not something I personally want to be reading about. So that's why it is my most disappointing read of the year. And then the overhyped read. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily overhyped or not, but I consider it overhyped just because I see a lot of people talking about it all the time. And it's not that I hated the book. I really didn't hate it. I just didn't really like it, which is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It honestly just wasn't for me. And apparently it's supposed to be a rivals to lovers romance or whatever, which I'm all for that. And enemies to lovers, it's one of my favorite tropes ever. But it didn't really feel like that. It more so felt like, it's gonna sound so weird. It more so felt like Edward and Bella in Twilight.
Yeah, AKA.
I love Twilight, don't get me wrong. But I only love Edward and Bella scenarios in Twilight, okay? That's what it was kind of giving me, Edward and Bella, a little bit. With, Mallory was giving Edward, and Nolan was giving Bella. Because you know how Bella's, kept wanting to, talk to Edward, and, wanted to constantly be around Edward and stuff. That's what this feels like. Is Nolan kept wanting to play chess with Mallory, and Mallory was like, no, get away. I hate you.
Everything about me invites you in.
It was enjoyable, but, it wasn't that enjoyable for me. And then a book that surprised me, or the underdog book, if you will. Now, there's, 3 books that I could put for this, but I only chose one, and that is The Grimm Society by Shonda Hahn. And it's just I don't know how to describe it without just talking about every little detail. Our main character is, invited to the Grimm Society, which it's, a school, and, there's a whole thing, and it's, I want to label it as, kind of fairy tale-esque / dark academia / supernatural. All 3 of those in one, and it's the best thing ever. And there's gonna be a second book, and I'm so excited for it. And then we have favorite couples, book couples. Now, there's only 2 that really come to my mind, especially books that I haven't reread. Reese and Bridget from Twisted Games by Anna Huang, and Gigi and Ryder from The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I don't know what it is, but I just love them. And then there's another couple that I really love from Chain of Thorns, which is Lucy, and I'm blanking on the name right now, but we know who he is. I'm going to put it on the screen. I love. And then this brings us to favorite characters, favorite main characters. Obviously, Reese from Twisted Games. I love this man. And Forbidden Romances, and then Ryder from The Graham Effect, because why not? How could I not? And then actually Sophie from the book Snow and Poison by Melissa De La Cruz, and Juliet from These Violent Delights, and Lucy from Chain of Thorns. I didn't bring all my books out here because I don't want to carry them all out here, but those characters for sure. And then fave new author. I doubt this first one's gonna come as a surprise, but Anna Huang. Because I absolutely devoured the first 2 books of this series. I don't have the second 2 because they were, every time I went to, get the 3rd one, not at Walmart. I mean, not at Target. They definitely weren't at Walmart, but not at Target, and it was really upsetting. And then These Violent Delights just put me through so much emotions. And, the writing was so, I don't want to say crisp, but it was crisp. if you understand what I'm saying. So it really made me like Chloe gone. And then the happiest book, which to me is like what got the most reactions on me. I had just a great time reading it. One of them being Twisted Games by Anna Huang. Are you seeing a pattern here? I also really had a good time reading the first one, but especially this one. And then also The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. Oh my goodness. Like, it was just so much fun. And like reading vlog, I have a reading vlog on the first 2 Twisted books. And actually, I have a reading vlog where I read The Graham Effect. So my most frustrating read is a book that I read for my young adult lit class last semester, being spring 2023. And that is Zarar, the Windseeker. I can't even tell you anything what it's about because I was so annoyed with it. Like, it annoyed me so much that I can't get it out of my face, you know. Luckily, I didn't have to keep it. I returned it to the bookstore, obviously. I hate it. I can't. There's so many things I did not like about it. But also, I feel like it was geared towards more like a younger audience, and like I just couldn't get with it. Like, I was like, no, stop. Reading that was so painful. Apologies, but it was. And now for the best book adaptation, I can only really give you 2 because I haven't really seen them. Well, no, I could give you 3, I guess. Shadow and Bone, and I'm just talking season 1 because I haven't read the second book of the trilogy yet, so I can't say anything about season 2, but season 1, I feel like it was really good, and that show's like really good, and I'm so upset that they canceled it. And like, it's one of the most diverse like fantasy shows that I think I've ever seen. And then I also have This Summer I Turned Pretty, which both seasons for this one, because I read the first 2 books and watched the first 2 seasons, and I felt like it was pretty accurate. And then the other one that I'm going to say that I think is really good, like I really enjoyed it, but also like it had elements of the series, but it also like was like a little it is the Vampire Academy show. The cinematography was so good. It was such good cinematography. And like, once I like obviously I paid attention to like things that were in the books. I was like, oh, they got that right, or like, oh, that's very, very wrong. But once I got past that, like once I just like stopped thinking about the movie too, like stopped thinking about like the movie and the books, I was like, I love this. I mean, I was still thinking about the books because I was like, okay, is this accurate to the books? Like, you know, I'm constantly gonna do that, especially the Vampire Academy series, because I love Vampire Academy so much by Michelle Mead. I love that series so much, but I won't say the Vampire Academy one is the 100% best. But I really did enjoy that season, and I am sad it's canceled. They just, apparently, like, they just don't like me. I will probably rewatch it, but... And now for the longest book, there are a few different nominees for this category, and one being... The one non-reread that I would say would probably be Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, which is the 3rd book of the Last Hours, and also by far my favorite book of that trilogy. And maybe Swordcatcher, but I'm not finished with that yet, so that's not going to be said. And then for a reread, probably Crescent City 1, House of Earth and Blood, because I reread that to annotate it, because I annotated the second one, and I am going to annotate the 3rd one. I'm so excited for the 3rd one. I'm so excited. It's one of my most anticipated reads for 2024. I'm so excited. And then Akamath. Now, I'm currently like rereading it as we speak. And then the shortest book was like a Kindle book. I don't even know if it's a short story. It probably is a short story, but I'm counting it because it is the shortest thing. It is Wrong Number by T. Thomas. Can't tell you what it's about. I just read it to read it and marked it as read and moved on. And now when it comes to favorite covers, I would say, I don't think I brought it out. No, I didn't. I would say Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli, and that's actually what made me pick up that book, and I did really enjoy that book. And What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walter, and then Snow and Poison by Melissa De La Cruz. There's obviously so many more books that I can name. Like, I really like the simplicity of the Twisted series. And then we have books that I can't stop thinking about, and I think the first one is not going to be a shock, and that is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. I love this book so much. So much. I don't think I rated it a 5-star, but it was like I think maybe a 4.75. Let me check real quick while I tell you the other book. And the other book is what I rated a 5-star. I rated it a 5-star. That's how much I loved it. And it is Lost in Tarotland, or The Curse of the Tarot. It has 2 different titles for some reason, by Killian Wolfe. This is what I rated this one. And then we have the cringiest read of the year, and now you don't come for me with this, okay? Don't come for me. I have a reason. And it is The Summer I Turned Pretty, the first book. I'm not talking about the second book or the third book. I haven't even read the third book. I enjoyed it. I did read it pretty quickly. But the reason why it's the cringiest is because Ellie, so immature, and like, I could not stand Taylor in that book, in the first book. I could not stand her. I was like, she is not a good friend. Why are you even hanging out with her, Ellie? Like, come on. Like, that's the only reason why it's my cringiest read, is because of that. It was giving immature. I mean, I get it because she was younger in the first book, but still. And then for an unpopular book that I love, I don't think it's gonna surprise you, because I don't think this book is that popular because I haven't seen it anywhere. I just saw it on Kindle Unlimited and was like, ooh, oh, that looks interesting. And that is Lost in Terrorland by Gillian Wolfe. I read it on my Kindle, so I don't have it physically. And now for the Goodreads, and that is the lowest and highest rated books. My lowest rated book, which I don't think it's going to be a surprise at all, is Zerara the Windseeker. I don't know how to say the author's name, okay? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to struggle. And I rated it a 1 star. I wanted to rate it 0, but I didn't want to be mean. And then my highest rated read is Lost in Terrorland by Gillian Wolfe. It's a 5 star. I loved it so much. And you can see me read it in a video of the wheel spinner picking my books. And now for favorite quotes. I'm only going to give you 2. One is from Imogen, obviously, and then another will be from The Last Apothecary. So the one from Imogen, obviously, is somehow our hands find each other's, fingers fitting together like notes in a song. There's so many other quotes from that book that I have, but like that quote, I just love that quote so much. I don't know what it is, but I just love it, okay? And now for a quote from The Lost Apothecary. Let me figure out where the quote is. I'm gonna read 2 quotes from this, actually. Like, the writing in this book is so pretty, and that's what made me really, like, keep reading. To me, the allure of history lay in the minuet of life long ago, the untold secrets of ordinary people. I don't know if that's how you say it. I don't know if that's minuet, or I don't really know what that word is. And then the final one, which is actually the last quote that I've, like, tabbed and stuff. And it is, magic with its enchanting, irresistible appeal, just like a fairy tale. Like, oh my goodness. The writing in this book is so pretty, so I believe it is a literary fiction. And I was not expecting myself to like this book at all. I would recommend this one, honestly. And this book leads me into the next question, which is a book with a unique concept. And I found this concept to be very interesting, and like the whole thing, like it went from the past, like a person in the past, to the person in the present, and the storyline, like we were learning like what's happening during like the history, and like while the person in the present is like trying to figure out this mystery. It's not really a mystery, but like history and stuff. And then the other one that I said was Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco, which is book 2 of the Stalking the Jack the Ripper series. But I don't know if that concept is as unique as this one, because I don't usually read like mystery kind of things. And then for books that I would reread, I would most likely reread Lost in Terrorland along with The Devil's Gambit, Twisted Games by Anna Huang, and Snow and Poison by Melissa de la Cruz. And now we're going to get into some Goodreads goals. This year, my goal was to read 95 books, and I read 97. As of filming this, I read 97 out of 95. So I beat my goal. And then for 2024, my plan for the year is to read 100 books. I'm not shooting too high. I'm just adding 5 to my goal of this year because baby steps. And based on my math, that would be 8 books a month, 2 books a week. My priorities for the next year, like what I'll prioritize reading wise. 1 is to finish series that I've started, or just finish series that I want to read. So finish the Shadow and Bone trilogy because I really need to do that. Obviously, I want to finish the Twisted series, and I want to read the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman, and I also want to read some classic fairy tales because I do have that Beauty and the Beast and Other Classic Fairy Tales book. I also want to read the Alice Through the Looking Glass story in my Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Classic Stories by Lewis Carroll, like that book I have. And then I also asked for the complete Grimm's Fairy Tales book. And next year I do want to read more contemporary, and that's pretty much the only priorities that I really have as of right now. I will see you in the next BOOKMAS episode, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and let me know what are your answers. Put them down in the comments below, and also make sure to check out Destiny's video as well. And I'm sad because the BOOKMAS series is coming to a close very, very soon. And I will just see you in the next video. And I'm gonna go inside now and get warm. Bye.